What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome into another show, Jammin with J Money, man. We back. It's another day. It's Thursday. Obviously we didn't have any games yesterday, but we got one today. We're gonna try to get to some cash, man. Go to some cash. Definitely have to recap the games from Tuesday, man. But before that, what's up, my guy Junior? Everything good with you?
Yeah, man. Good to be back after a day off. I guess we're gonna have a couple more of these days off between now and the NBA Finals with only four teams left. Not exactly the four teams that we expected, but we'll get into that in a second. The last time that we were on, we were all on the Heat money line. I know there was a lot of non-believers in the chat, but that's okay because everybody's entitled to their opinion. We saw what we saw. We've been called that since before that series even was announced. So I just had to ride with the Heat. Obviously, they kind of left it. They made it a little iffy though because the Celtics had a couple of runs where they looked like they put the Heat away, but the Heat are just a really gritty, tough team. I'm excited to break that game down with you today because Game 2 is a really, really tricky one from a handicapping perspective, and we'll definitely get into that disgusting display that we saw from the Clippers once you go over your recap.
Man, so make sure you guys definitely can't forget. Make sure you guys go to SBR Picks /NBA to check out all the articles that we have over there. NBA, NFL, with college football, pretty much whatever you like to bet over there. We have free picks over there and write ups to go along with it. So make sure you guys go over there to the site, sportsreview.com. Check out all the odds and stuff as well, man. But yeah, on Tuesday, man, so gotta go. We're gonna talk about the good first. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? We was on the Heat. Obviously didn't get out to a good start there, Junior. It got out to 12-3. They only had 3 points in the first like 5 minutes of play. Couldn't buy a shot through the first game. I had to go back and watch that game a few times because the first game I was in my son baseball practice watching the game. You know what I'm saying? So we got down in the first and fourth quarter. I'm pretty pissed, man, but they ended up getting it done. The Heat 117-114 in overtime there. Junior, they almost could have lost on Jimmy Butler there late in the fourth quarter. Man, we needed that boy. He ended up hitting a late three, ended up getting them. You know what I'm saying? Up by one, getting a foul in one. Oh, we needed Jimmy Butler there, Junior. We needed him at overtime and at the end of regulation. Then Marcus Smart almost messed it up for. I can't stand it when they come down to some free throws and then they only make one free throw. You know what I'm saying? Make one miss. I can't stand that, man. But Marcus Smart, he almost ended up getting done. But see, Junior, one thing I said, I didn't have the money line. I was just on the +1.5. So I mean, if they would have lost by one, it would have been gut wrenching. But I just had the +1.5. But still, I was rooting for you boys. It ended up going to overtime. You know, Junior, when they come to the overtime, having the dog overtime, that doesn't always work out well for you. I really was finna be scared there overtime, but we ended up getting it done. Thanks to Jimmy Butler once again, 117-114, they get it done. And even with the Celtics having their most terrible game, their worst defensive game of the playoffs so far, they still only lost that game by 3, and we're up 12 at the end of the third quarter. Junior, what's your assessment of this game, Heat versus Celtics? We cashed it, man. That was a nice one. We needed it.
Yeah, I'm gonna address somebody in the comments when we get to the Clippers Denver game. But as far as this game, I was really worried. Like I mentioned earlier at different points. When you see Marcus Smart hitting outside shots, it's gonna be tough for you to beat the Celtics. It's really that simple. And I got to give Marcus Smart credit. He's been playing out of his mind for the entire playoffs, which is why the Celtics have looked so good, which is why they disposed of Toronto. If Marcus Smart continues to play that way, the Heat are going to have a problem beating these guys because the big three are always going to come to play. Hayward might come back by game like 3 or 4, but if Marcus Smart gives him a fourth scoring option, plus the level of defense that he brings to the table, Marcus Smart is the ultimate X factor right now. And I have to admit when I'm wrong. I felt like he couldn't keep it up. It's been like a month now. He's doing it. He's doing it. I would be worried, though, as a Boston fan, if you're having to rely on Marcus Smart, if I'm going to be honest, because their offense outside of Tatum has still been a little bit unreliable. Brown and Kemba Walker are kind of good one game, bad the next, good one game, bad the next. But ultimately, can we just start getting to game 2? Because are we talking about game 2 right now? What are we doing?
No. We only got one game. No, we got to recap. Yes, and then I got
okay.
No, and
just making sure.
Yeah, so, and I got to. finish what you got to say, man.
Yeah,
Before I
no,
get on
so
my guy ass here.
yeah. As far as that recap, like I said, I can't pretend like I was confident the whole time I was watching because two different times in the fourth quarter, the Celtics look like they kind of put these boys away. But the Heat got cojones, man. Like when Kemba Walker went to the basket, did that weird kind of Euro step going to his left, but shot it with his right over Crowder. They went up 5. I was like, okay, well, the game is done. What is it, like a minute left? Tyler Hero, the baller that he is, like I said he would be, came right down, hit a 3, cut it to 2, and I was like, okay, these boys are just not going. Like, you got to, like, shoot them in the head. You can't just step on their neck. You got to shoot these boys in the head or else they're going to keep coming back. And I really, really am impressed with what I'm seeing by the Heat so far, for sure.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. And they got them 3-point shooters over there. That was one thing that we did talk about over there. And that surprised them as well. And even the Celtics say Brad Stevens, pretty much everybody admitting, hey, that their transition offense, you know what I'm saying, a little bit surprised them. I kind of threw them off guard. I mean, we kind of broke it down right to exact. But we got that game right. Now, see, the Denver versus Clippers, I'll tell you guys, man, I'm sorry. I thought there was no way in the hell that the Clippers would lose that game. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? That obviously, I mean, it's not even with the conspiracy theory of them on the Clippers versus Lakers. Just as a team, I mean, we've seen that the Clippers be up 3-1. We've seen them blow them out plenty of times, be up 16. They just pissed their lead away. Now, this game, the game 7 right there, they just straight up lost that game. I mean, you up 8 points. You got up 8-10 in the second quarter there. Then when the Nuggets closed it to 2 to end the half, I knew something was up there because I was on Clippers first half, stayed out the full game, was on Clippers first half, and I'm talking about, I don't know how the hell we lost that one, man. They pissed away at the end of the half. Then the third quarter, you got outscored 28-18. In my opinion, it was done from there, man. That fourth quarter, the Clippers didn't want no smoke. You see afterwards, them boys talking about they didn't want to play more than 3-minute stints. They all acting like they tired and stuff out there. The Clippers were the Patrick Beverly, all them guys, the main ones out there talking stuff, man. And then you get your ass put out like that. You talking all that stuff about Dame. Then they were one of the first teams, Junior, that said that they didn't want to play no more, man. It really showed they only scored 89 points versus Nuggets. You have to give plenty of credit versus them boys. Like I say, I'm sorry, man. I thought that there was no way in hell the Clippers would lose that game. The 7.5 was a whole different. But I mean, I told another thing. I did tell you, nothing is guaranteed. No game is guaranteed. I don't give a damn how strongly you feel about it. I always tell y'all this at the end of the show. Nothing is guaranteed, man. So don't. And then another thing, I'll never tell nobody go and max anything out because anything can fucking happen, man. So you don't lose all your money, man. So yeah, I am gonna be happy as shit today because I had a boatload, probably too much on the Heat, Garrett. I probably had too much on it and not a whole lot on the Clippers. So honestly, I didn't really care about that game. Y'all know what the official play was. It was the Heat. We was all on it and we cast that shit, Garrett. So talk all that you want, and we appreciate you for watching, my guy. Junior, what you got to say? We got to give Clippers all the slander. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, all the slander, all of it. Junior, we're here for it. We're here for it.
Yeah, let me start off by giving Garrett a little slander. Yo, Garrett.
Hey, where is that guy?
No. And I'm not saying this in a negative way. I'm just saying this in a kind of just pay attention to what we're doing way. Yes, me, Jordan, and Jay said that there's no way the Nuggets are going to win that game. We said that if we had to make a pick, we would pick Clippers with the spread because they were going to cover. Mm-hmm. But did any of us make it an official play? No. So you can't act like as if we said it was a lock. None of us made it an official play because we didn't trust the Clippers enough because of the things that we had seen throughout this entire bubble. So you got to be consistent, dog. You can criticize us for our opinion, but also just make sure you mention we told y'all not to bet it because we didn't bet it ourselves. The official play was Miami plus 105. And they cashed that. Y'all had them on plus the points. They cashed that too. That's all you can criticize us for. But moving on, I can't criticize the goddamn Clippers. I can criticize Doc Rivers, who is choked in a lot of series where he's been up 3-2. It's like the 4th time Doc Rivers has lost with a 3-2 lead. Yo, before I actually start with the slander, let me start giving some respect. Much respect to Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic had 16 points, 22 rebounds, and 13 assists. That is a dominant performance. I'm going to tell you right now, Jay, I kind of doubted Jokic because me personally, I don't like a pass-first 7-footer. To me, it's kind of like a cop-out. Like, dog, you the biggest guy on the court. You're not looking for your own shot. Get in there and score. But, nah,
That ain't his game.
That's just not his game, and he knows who he is better than I do. Obviously, better than the rest of us, and he is the perfect point center because he's a point center. Basically, is what he is. He's averaging, I think, in the playoffs 26, 11, and like 7. Dog, nobody in NBA history has really gone through a whole playoffs putting up them kind of numbers that wasn't like a point guard. You know what I'm saying? Those are like Magic Johnson, LeBron James type numbers, and we're getting that from a 7-footer. They say the center is dead, but we got to give Jokic his flowers right now because he's balling out of his mind, and he's the reason why his team is in the Western Conference Finals. Now, obviously, Jamal Murray gets a lot of the credit because he puts up big points, but Jokic, if you go back and look at this Clippers series, I'm pretty sure Jokic did not have a single bad game. Whereas there was games where Jamal Murray got completely shut down. Mm-hmm. So I just want to, take a second here to give props to Jokic, who is clearly one of the best players in the NBA. Now, Paul George is... I'm going to just say this. Before I start talking shit about Paul George, he was afraid. Paul George was afraid.
It got trash, man.
If any of y'all that play ball, you could look at another player and be like, oh, he don't want it. This dude right here, Paul George, did not want any parts of that Game 7. My guy was hitting the side of the backboard in the fourth quarter, turning the ball over. That was an absolute clown show by Paul George. And as for Kawhi Leonard, he's still a superstar. But all of you people that compared him to LeBron saying, oh, Kawhi better than LeBron, slap yourself. Kawhi has never been better than LeBron. He will never be better than LeBron. And I'm going to just say it like this. Other than like Jimmy Butler, I don't really know of any stars in my lifetime who were 9, 10, 11 point per game scorers for the first like 3-4 years of their career. Kawhi Leonard was a decent player who was an elite defensive player for the first like 3-4 years of his career. And because he played in the Spurs organization that is the best in the world at developing talent, they developed his talent. But if Kawhi Leonard would have got drafted by the Clippers instead of the Spurs, would he be what he is today? Maybe, maybe not. Whereas real superstars like LeBron, it don't matter who drafted LeBron. LeBron was always going to be a superstar. So let's start showing a little bit more respect for LeBron.
My guy, LeBron took what's called into a sorry Cavs team the fourth year in the league. You know what I'm saying, to the finals, bro. So I'm not so much of a LeBron fan these days, but I mean I'm still a fan of him. I'm still of what he did his legacy. I mean all of the decisions, the shit he done, I'm not a fan of. But as far as that, I don't like when people compare him, especially just because of what he did last year versus. I mean, one lucky shot, really. They was lucky to get past Philly. You really want to be honest with it, but we're gonna finish it, Junior. We're going to cap it out. But Kawhi having 14 points and PG having 10 points in a Game 7, bro, you played 43 minutes and you had 14 points. Tired? How you tired, bro? Man, you ain't even have to do no traveling, Junior, right? They don't have to do no traveling, none. You getting day in between games and stuff. You playing. The Nuggets weren't just running, gunning. You had to give credit to the Nuggets, but I mean the Clippers. I'm sorry, man. That was just way too. I mean the refs trying to help you out and everything, bro. That is just absolutely terrible. Paul George too, but Kawhi Leonard did. Because what did we say? Kawhi Leonard going off for 30, 35. Then them boys talking about that. His boy was a negative 21 plus minus, bro, and worse than Paul George. Paul George negative 20, bro, in a Game 7 and a must win, and y'all championship favorites. Nah, bro, I'll never get over this shit. I'm watching the game. This is history. I'm in pure disbelief, bro. When they were down 15, had to give Jamal Murray his credit as well. Went off for 40. When he hit that 1-3, when he was going to the side and his leg all in the air and shit, I said, so them boys hot. They feeling it. And I just love when Murray looks at the camera like that. Like he don't have to say shit. He's like, look at me, look at my game. That's it, bro. That's it on that game.
Hey, Kawhi left Toronto to get knocked out of the playoffs by a guy from Toronto. Love it.
Yeah.
The other thing is, because we don't want to make the whole show about the Clippers. We gotta mention Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell. I've never seen worse defense than Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell in game. For those of you that got League Pass, go back and watch Game 6 and Game 7. Montrezl Harrell and especially Lou Williams are a disgrace on defense. A disgrace. They were getting eaten alive, dog, and then not even contributing offensively. The Clippers got a lot of rethinking to do. They're gonna have to make a lot of moves because this team ain't it. Marcus Morris, get him the F out of here too. This team ain't it, bro. This team ain't it.
Yeah, and I just saw right before we finna get to the game. We only got one game today, guys. It's just me and Junior, so we had to stretch the show. We had to give the Clippers plenty of slander, and I know I came out and said that I didn't know there was no way that he's gonna lose. So I definitely gotta apologize, slander my damn self for that. That's why I'm sitting there watching the game like, bro, I sat there and like I say, man, I really didn't think so. But Harold, he did lead the team in 20 points. Your boys, there 20 points in 25 minutes. Your boys, Junior, I just saw right before the show that the Raptors are gonna be going after Harold pretty hard there. So your guys seem that, you know what I'm saying, they like Harold. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with the Clippers. They're gonna have some moving parts. Lou Williams probably had butt cheeks. He's probably too busy seeing butt cheeks bouncing his face or too ready to get to the strip club, going James Harden on them. Ready to get to the strip club, ready to get to them Lou Will lemon pepper wings. I don't know what they got going, but I could do a whole damn show to talk about what went wrong with the Clippers. They shouldn't even been at a damn game 7, in my opinion, and they really deserve the way everything that happened. They deserve this shit, man. They gonna live there. Damn, and don't get it twisted, Junior. I don't know, depending on how the team look, they probably come out pissed the next year. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully everybody we make it there. Clippers gonna be pissed there early on. They're gonna have a lot of shit to say, you know what I'm saying? But for right now, I got a lot of shit to say. And I bet you they ain't even looking at their mentions on Twitter or none of this shit. Dame Lillard, CJ McCollum, everybody letting them boys have it. Especially after all this shit they were talking. That's enough. That's enough. No more negative. We all positive vibes over it. Positive energy got Dorn on me. Total open up for this game, man. Game 2, man. Heat, Celtics, Eastern Conference. Just like the other day, I've been thinking about this damn game since the other one ended, pretty much. Since, you know what I'm saying? Been thinking, man. Not overthinking. I've been already kind of seeing what I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying, what I'm gonna do in this one. Bless you, my guy. But we got the Celtics here favored by 2.5 here, Junior. What's up? The Heat win game 1 in double OT and look good. Some people were thinking that the Heat are a better team now. Like I know people that was heavy on Celtics, Junior, and now they're like, damn, are the Heat better just after one game, and they only won by 3. What you thinking in this one? We know that he got a much better bench. The Celtics shown while their stars out there that shit can get ugly. I'll tell you that. what you think in this one, brother?
Yeah, I would say to anybody that thinks the Heat are the better team after one game, that you can't let the recency bias affect you. The Heat are 9-1 in the playoffs, so they kind of just look better than everybody right now, right? I will say this: if Jason Tatum would have played better in the last 2-3 minutes, they would have. The Celtics win that game. Jason Tatum kind of melted, because you can't say he choked because he carried the team throughout the whole game. He just had a bad couple possessions. He forced up a couple shots. But you know, when you're a type of dude that can make difficult shots, I don't blame him. But I just think that after I watched this game a second time, it was kind of like, oh, if Jason Tatum would have kind of just closed this game out, the Celtics win, and this whole narrative is different. So I would say people should kind of relax a little bit and go back and watch the game. I'm on the under today. That's my official pick. Under 209.5. And here's my explanation for that. The first game was at 212 at the end of regulation. Both teams were hitting a lot of threes, shooting high percentage, shooting a lot of free throws, despite the fact that the pace of the game was completely going towards the under. There were 90 possessions played in that game, and if the pace is going to be at 90, which is exactly where the Heat wanted to be, because like I've mentioned several times before in the Milwaukee series, the Heat play at the 4th slowest pace in the NBA. So a pace of 90 for them, that's exactly where they want to be. Now the Celtics would probably like to play a little faster, but here's the problem. Let me just go ahead and check this out. Jason Tatum, 44 minutes. Marcus Smart, 43 minutes. Jaylen Brown, 43 minutes. Kemba Walker, 42 minutes. Their top 4 guys play such heavy minutes. And in case you're wondering, how many minutes a game did them boys averaging in the 7-game series against Toronto? That would be 40. So you're playing 40 minutes a game now for basically a whole series, and now coming into the series and your minutes are going up. They can't sustain that. Brad Stevens is not a dumb guy. He's gonna have to. He's gonna have to figure out different spots to get some of these bench guys a few more minutes. Not to give them more minutes, but to give his starters a bit more rest. So I think you see more Celtics bench guys get more minutes. I think you see the shooting slow down a little bit. And I think you see the pace stay around the same because that's where Miami wants to play. And because of the lack of bodies, that's where Boston has to play. So I'm going under 209.5 because I really believe that that's gonna be the outcome. This is gonna be a tight defensive game with big shots that decide it at the end.
I could definitely see that, man. One thing I don't like, I mean, if I'm the Celtics, I don't want to see more of the bench. There was a lineup that they had Tatum, Walker, and then they had Wanamaker, Grant Williams, and I think it was Ojale. I think they had all three of them on at the same time. There's no way in hell, and I said this before the game yesterday, I know they don't have a super deep bench. They are pretty close to having Gordon Hayward back. And if they lose this game, you can damn sure guarantee he's going to be in game 3 because he possibly could have came back today, but he's doubtful for his game. I mean, he's been slowly practicing, getting back into the thick of things. Probably game 4 for sure be back. But Grant Williams, in my opinion, watching the game, and I remember saying this, he cannot see the damn floor. He cannot. He's and you especially can't have Grant Williams out there at the damn center, bro. What are y'all doing? Brad Stevens is smarter than that, man. And when I saw that lineup, I couldn't believe that he saw the game, and I couldn't believe that this game was that close, to be honest with you, with the way that the Celtics were playing, because they got when their starters are in, they have the clear advantage. This is the series right here. When the Celtics starters versus the Heat starters, they have the clear advantage, especially when you have Duncan Robinson out there. I mean, if he's not making threes, he's a liability on the defensive end. He did get 3 quick fouls in the last game, but and when the Heat bench come in, that's when they start making their run. That's when they start making their run, because obviously their bench is a lot better than so. And it's tough for the Celtics because they're having to pretty much play their starters more minutes. But like I say, you can put Wanamaker in, Robert Williams, Ojale, even if you have to start back playing Cantor. But Grant Williams cannot see the floor. I'm pretty sure that when Brad Stevens sees this film, he'll see that Williams does not belong out there on the floor. Nobody, I mean, he can't match up with anybody out there on the floor for the Heat, bro. I better not see this guy on the damn floor tonight, man. I do like the Celtics tonight. This is something that I kind of saw before the series begun. Heat game 1, Celtics game 2. And it's just that it's that simple for me. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying? I love the Heat game 1. A lot of people ask me why I'm on the Heat. Don't get it twisted. I like the Celtics for the series. I think they're going to win the series. I like the Heat game 1. I like the spot that they were in. I like this spot for the Celtics. They got to start out early and often. I think the Celtics will get it done. Don't like that 2.5. I'll be honest with you. I like the money line better at minus 130, minus 135. It is up to 140 at some spots. But in my opinion, I'll take that over that 2.5. Like I say, if it was down to 2, but this could be a close game. It really could be a close game. But in my opinion, the Celtics, they got to win this game. I know the Heat are 9-1 in the playoffs, but they are 3-7 against the spread this year so far. You know what I'm saying? After an overtime game, so they're after OT win. They scared me some of those times, though, Junior, especially in the fourth quarter. They let the Celtics pull away. Even though they came back, a lot of that, Junior, was the Celtics getting complacent, taking bad shots. One time, Tatum just went up the court and shot a four-quarter 3 a couple of times, just shooting quick threes, and they don't make them. It's a terrible shot, bro. It's a bad. You're a coach, Junior. You know that. So if the Celtics watched the film, probably talking too long. They watched the film, see some of the mistakes. They got a feel for their transition offense for the Heat. They if they put a little bit more lockdown on net, and you know what I'm saying, can keep up, because obviously they didn't win the 3 battle either. All of these things. It was the Celtics' worst defensive game of the playoffs as well, and they only lost by 3. They went to overtime. So I like the position they were in. I think tonight they'll come out with, you know what I'm saying, more energy. They looked at film, better game plan. They're gonna get this one done, Junior. Sorry, brother. I had a lot to say on that one.
No, I mean, listen, there's only one game and there's only 2 of us, so, you know, we're going to tend to kind of go off on tangents talking about this one game. And I like something that you said. Jason Tatum, because this is something that I tell my players constantly. For example, I run drills where I let my guys work on their transition threes, how to come into your shot when a transition 3 is a good shot. But in the last 4 minutes of the fourth quarter, do I want you shooting transition threes? If you're on fire, I guess, but time and score. And I think Jason Tatum, he lost his fundamentals for a second. He wasn't really thinking about time and score with some of the shots that he took because it allowed Miami to get momentum because those are stops. A bad shot, even though you didn't stop the other team, it's still a stop. If they didn't score, it's a stop. You grab the defensive rebound, you go on the other end. Jason Tatum kind of gave them momentum. I don't want to criticize him too much because, like I said, he really balled out for like 95% of that game. But, the difference between, for example, we had a conversation a few weeks ago that I don't think Jimmy Butler's a superstar. I think he's a star. But in the fourth quarter, he believes he's a superstar, and he closes like a superstar. Like when he took Jason Tatum to the hole, got a little lucky, in my opinion, when he flipped that shot and it kind of hit the front of the rim, but he did what a superstar is supposed to do in that situation. So Jimmy Butler, that's why he acts like he's a superstar, because he's a solid I shouldn't say solid. He's probably the best two-way player in the league other than Kawhi, and he can close. So Jason Tatum kind of needs to go to that school. Like if I'm Jason Tatum and it's a one of the more important possessions of the game, I got to be going to the basket. You're 6'8", 6'9", with handle. You can get to the rim and get free throws every time. Because for those of you that are Boston fans, that was the problem in the beginning of Jason Tatum's career. Go back and look at his stats. He was not getting to the line. He always was settling for threes and long twos. And then supposedly Brad Stevens, like last offseason, really got in his ass and was like, yo, dog, if you're going to take your game to the next level, you got to be able – all the great scorers shoot like 6, 7, 8 free throws a game. You can't be the best player on your team shooting 2, 3 free throws a game because you're not going to be able to close in situations where it's on you to close. Jaylen Brown has a lot of talent. Marcus Smart has a lot of talent. But the only other person that could possibly close on that team to me is Kemba. And you don't want to put it in the hands of a 6'1" guy if you've got a 6'9" guy that can do a lot of the same things. So I think Jason Tatum just has to make better decisions. And the Celtics probably win this game if he does.
Yeah, my guy here says somebody said Tatum needs to have Tatum needs to start having a mamba mentality. Somebody else say Tatum is going to get locked up tonight. I would love to see. I mean, that means you love the Heat. I would, if I was you, I would slam the Heat if you think Tatum's going to get locked up, and I would love to see that happen as well. The Heat got plenty of defenders out there, and one thing I could say to really don't get it twisted, I like the fact that the Heat did all this to go and win that game. In my opinion, they got extremely lucky to win that game. Like I felt extremely lucky to cash that ticket, man. I really did. I mean, you can't get down like 12 like that. And it's a game of runs, and each team, when they come out and smack each other, you know what I'm saying, they kind of give a little, even the Heat, when the Celtics smacked them, you could tell, even though it wasn't home court, they kind of, you know what I'm saying, since the momentum changed, it switched. So in the fourth quarter, it really could have been over. It was a few really dumb mistakes by the Celtics, like Junior said, that let the Heat kind of stick into it, but they really could have put their foot on their neck, in my opinion. If there was just a couple less threes and drove to the basket, maybe got a foul call, it would have been a totally different game. It wouldn't even been that close to where it goes to overtime. But Celtics played a terrible game. We'll see. I mean, because if they play it worse than that, then obviously it probably won't even be that close. So it'll be interesting to see tonight. I do think that the Celtics will get this win. Tonight, I got them on the money line at -135. Man, me personally, I think the Celtics gonna bounce back tonight. I'm leaning as well to my guy there with the under there. It opened at 209.5. It went down to 208.5. It was there all night. It didn't wake up this morning back up to 209.5. It's kind of low total. You know, it's gonna be all over the place. But I mean, I'm leaning towards that under with my guy Junior there. The game was a clear under game. And more thing I gotta say. The Heat, when they're transition, they got a few, like Crowder got at least 3 open threes that I saw for a fact. Iguodala got at least 2 of them. I don't think they'll be that open tonight. Celtics got to look for how they're going to play now, the spots that they'd like to get to. I think they'll guard the three-point line a little bit better. Duncan Robinson wasn't as good from 3, so he could go off. Him and Hero, those are 3-point guys. But Crowder and Iguodala hitting those threes, I don't think that'll particularly happen tonight. It was a few, like five threes, where they were just pretty much wide open. I'm glad I was on the Heat, but not tonight. Not tonight. I'm going with my mob guys tonight, man. I was hoping we was gonna see Foster in this one as well, but I didn't get what I wanted. But I still think they're gonna get it done, man. Junior, anything else? Anything else you gotta say about this one, my guy, before we get out of here?
Yeah, I forgot to mention something that absolutely has to be mentioned. Bam Adebayo is a goddamn beast.
Yeah. Yeah,
Probably
he saved the game as well, Junior. Because
because
if it wasn't for that one,
I just finished
they would have lost.
saying I just finished saying Tatum needs to go strong to the basket in order to close. Hey, he tried to, and Bam gave what has to be the second greatest block in playoff history after LeBron and Iguodala against the Warriors. He literally LeBron saved the game. Bam won the game with that block, and you see he blocked him with his left hand because if he would have come with his right hand, he would have bodied him. But he's such an intelligent defensive player. He's such an elite defensive player. He's like, nah, bro, I'm gonna block you with my left hand. Bent my boy's wrist all the way back.
Nah, for real.
Blocked the shit out of him, bro. That block was amazing.
Like he was finna break his wrist right there, boy. I said, damn, boy, almost broke your wrist, man. What if Tatum would have took him into the rim? Boy, that would have been crazy. But yeah, now we know Bam Adebayo is a strong guy. And their defense is so much better when he's on the floor. Obviously, he was a huge factor in that game. It's going to be a damn good series, man. I really do think it's going to be a back and forth series. It'll be real interesting to see what happened. But I really did think I lost my money in that first game. I'm going to be honest with you. I was surprised to see the Celtics, even in my opinion, was a clear letdown game after that 7-game series. They looked good in their first quarter, first and fourth quarter. It was surprising me to see how the Celtics didn't really let down after their 7-game series. Them boys were still ready to play versus the Heat. So this is going to be a damn good series, man. I think it's going 7 games for sure. What's up, brother?
No, what I wanted to say was before the series, one of my keys was the fact that Bam has a clear advantage over Tice. And I think there's one thing that we're really overlooking about how Bam played in game 1. Yo, Bam was out there throwing dimes, dog. He had 9 assists in that game. He was really making high level basketball IQ plays. And I think that we're watching a dude that is going to be around for a long, long time, making a big impact for this Heat team because he's something special, man. He's an undersized big. I like to root for the underdogs. He reminds me of he's just a better version of Montrezl Harrell, realistically. You know what I'm saying? An undersized big that has mad heart and tries. Well, and Montrezl, I don't know what happened to him in the last 2 games against Denver, but usually, gives 100% every time they step out on the court. So I'm excited to see that. And shout out to my guy Tyler Hero, who basically had a triple-double. My boy was in high school 2 years ago, and he's out here balling with grown-ass men. I love to see young dudes on the come-up.
Got you. Yeah, that's the card today, man. It's only one game. We did plenty of Clipper slander, recap game 1, and you know what I'm saying, gave our picks on today's games, man. So that's the show from today, man. We're gonna be back tomorrow. We got game 1 tomorrow, Junior. We got the Nuggets versus the Lakers, man.
Can't wait. To say about that.
Plenty to say, but it's only one game as well tomorrow. So you guys know we got to stretch it out, at least try to get 30 minutes to show. We're going to be back tomorrow. Y'all hit the like button and subscribe if you like the content. You know what I'm saying? Go to SBR Picks /NBA if you like to, if you want to check out our articles that we got and check out the odds as well, sportsreview.com/odds. Make sure you get the best lines, man, as well. This line could possibly even move down to 2. You know what I'm saying? With some Heat money coming in. Like I say, I'm on the money line for the Celtics, man. My guy over there on the under. Be real interesting to see what happened in this one. Can the Heat go up 2-0? Will this one be another overtime? Will Jimmy Butler, you know what I'm saying, take over again at the end of the game? Or is Celtics get up and run away with this one? Kemba Walker obviously got to have a better game. Smart. You've seen him be a lot bit more, you know what I'm saying, more offensive here lately, a lot more aggressive. So be interesting to see if he'll play the same way. And they're gonna need Jaylen Browne to step up tonight as well. And if I see Grant Williams out there on the court, man, I'm probably gonna tear my damn ticket up, man. Like I can't believe this, bro. I really can't. I'm gonna have to give my guy a call, man. But we about to get out of here. All positive vibes, all positive energy. Let's cash these tickets today, man. And we're gonna be back tomorrow, man. We appreciate y'all for watching Jim J Money.